There's some important information near the end of this video that I'm going to share with you guys of possibilities of what her death may have been caused by. I hope everybody's doing well. Today we're going to be going over the student who died in Oklahoma and her passing the very next day. We're going to be looking at also some of the body cam footage. I'll end up clipping a lot of that stuff so that way we're not watching the entire 20-minute video. And I'll kind of give you what my thoughts are. I did contact a paramedic that works for a local department around me and asked for some of the opinions that he had of what possibly could have happened to this young teen. So who did this happen to? Her name is Nex Benedict, and she is a non-binary person. She identifies with they, them pronouns. Whether I agree with it or not, that is part of this case and why it's got so much media coverage. So it says here in Edmond, Oklahoma. When I looked at the high school, it's Owasso High School in Owasso, Oklahoma. Vigils took place across the nation for Oklahoma teenager who died the day after a fight in a high school bathroom in which the non-binary students stated they were the target of bullying. Nex Benedict, a 16-year-old who identified as non-binary and used they, them pronouns, got into an altercation with three girls in an Owasso High School bathroom who were picking on Benedict and some friends. I believe she had two other friends with her. The girls attacked Benedict for pouring water on them. So Nex admits in the body cam footage of after the girls were making fun of the way they were laughing, she goes up to them, pours water on them, and then they attacked her. So per what the law states, she started the initial assault by pouring water on them. That is considered assault on somebody. And then the girls retaliated back by getting into a fight with her. Benedict's mother called emergency responders to the family home the day after the fight, saying Benedict's breathing was shallow, their eyes were rolling back, and their hands were curled. So she obviously passed away from that. That's very sad. Anybody who is a victim of bullying, whichever way that if it goes to that far, at length, and they do pass away, it is still really sad. And especially as young as she is. So we're going to watch a little bit of that footage and pay attention to the very beginning of how this starts in the first couple of sentences of what Nex says. She talks about a previous altercation or previous incident.
Hi.
Oh, no. Hey, stranger.
Hey, Mr. Thompson.
I'm on Thompson. We spoke on the phone the other day.
I will also be giving my first primary impression. I am a first responder. By no means am I giving a statement of what had happened to her. I am giving the possibilities of ideas from what is presented to me. So this is not for like any type of report that I'm writing. I'm just giving you from what my professional opinion is from visually seeing and listening to her. And we'll discuss some things that might possibly have happened leading up to her death.
I'm glad you're here.
So what happened today?
I got jumped.
Tell me about it. What happened?
They've been antagonizing, you know the people that I got caught with?
You mean from the other day, the vaping situations?
Yeah,
okay.
They were.
So the other people that I got caught with from the other incidents from the other day. So this is not a first time occurrence that she has been in trouble or a type of incident that had happened. So she has a relationship with this officer already.
Okay.
Yeah. Where's my glasses? Can't see anything.
Sorry. Okay, what I was told, they called me. I'll just start there. They called me. And
My primary impression already, if I'm the first responder coming to this scene, is I see a 16-year-old white female, supine position, who is alert and oriented times 3. She knows where she's at. She has an idea of where she's at. She is given previous history of recent past of what has happened, and then I would sit there and ask a couple other questions. But presenting to me, I do not see any bruising, blood, any cuts. I'm also checking out in the hospital setting. I don't see a 4-lead, 12-lead, nothing up at this monitor right here, which would show that. All I see right now is an SpO2 monitor, which just regulates her pulse and oxygen saturation in her blood. Obviously, I can't read that. It looks kind of like a 96. I can't really tell, but which is fine. 93 to 100% is fine. And then also a blood pressure cuff. So I don't see any bandaging. I don't see anything. Obviously, I can't see if there's any bruising on her chest or abdomen or anything on the legs as well, but just presenting to her face and her arms that are exposed. I am not seeing, and she's also giving me the finger. I'm not seeing anything, which does not mean that there is underlying conditions. If somebody has been in an altercation, and you'll listen here shortly, she says something pretty important that you'll need to listen to. And I'll point it out once she does say it. And then at that point, you would really urge them to go to the hospital. But obviously, it is not her choice whether she goes to the hospital in the state of Indiana. If she is under the age of 18, you have to have parental consent. And they're going regardless because they were just in an altercation. Unless mother says she is absolutely not going. And then mother would have to be present and then sign off with the signature of release so that way it covers us. But we would really urge her to go to the hospital.
Well, I know all week long she's been in ISP, right? Doing great.
Okay.
And everything. We had a long talk. I mean, we've been doing awesome. And
So she has been in ISP, which is in school suspension.
she told me, she said, Mom, she said, these 3 girls there are just, they won't leave me alone. They're making comments. They're calling us names. They're throwing stuff at us. And this is an ISP. I'm like, well, who's over this place? I said, ignore it, Daddy. Get above it. Just ignore it.
Sure.
She did until she couldn't in the bathroom. And they said that there was 3 girls that were on top of her, just beating the crap out of her. And I said, okay, so what are we doing about this? Oh, well, in a couple of days we'll talk about it. I said, no, I want something done.
Who said it in a couple of days?
The principal.
Okay.
Why are they saying that? I said, I think we need to have a police officer. It's assault. Because she never touched them. She never touched them. Now she did.
But based on your understanding.
Yeah. Now
Okay.
she did, and everyone has said it. She did throw some water at them because they,
So let me, and I appreciate, Mom, you filling it in, but Ms. Dagny, why don't you tell me?
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good, Mom. You're good.
Okay. I'm
But-
just mad. I'm very mad.
Sure.
This is something from my experience, and I know I'm going to keep pausing it. Don't get upset. But one thing that a lot of parents do for their kids, especially if they're around this age, is they start talking for them. That is something that as a first responder, you want to stop. Unless they witnessed it, if they hadn't witnessed it, you want to tell them to stop. I want to hear their side of the story, because what they can be doing is giving information that is not correct, or it's just perceived information of what they want to be told. So you want to get to the main root of what caused this incident, which is why the officer stopped her and then is going to turn towards the next and ask her the questions.
Sure. And I don't want to cut you off, but I like to hear from, especially the older they are, that they can tell me essentially what happened.
Okay.
So let me ask you this first. And I'm taking this off of what Mama just said. So clear up the confusion. When this first started happening, whatever this is going, this banter back and forth between you and the other individuals, did you at any point contact any school administration, whether it be counselor, the teacher that sits in that classroom? Did you let any of them know at any point in time?
No.
Okay. And I'm just asking, there's no right or wrong, but why not?
I didn't really see the point in it. I told my mom no.
Sure. But you didn't tell the school where they could actually do something. At any point during this whole situation, and I use the word loosely, but the bantering or whatever it is going back and forth between you guys. Obviously, you know each other. Obviously, you both
We don't know each other.
Well, you know of each other with the vape situations and all that.
No, before this we had no work life. Before this ISP thing, we never saw each other. The freshmen were sophomore.
Okay.
We didn't know any.
Okay.
I don't know their names. I don't know.
Okay. So they just up and decided to just start messing with you. There was
because of the way that we dressed.
Okay, so you didn't do anything at all at any point in time that would have, even a couple days ago or even a month ago or anything like that?
I don't know these girls.
Okay, all right. So they just continued to pick on you and pick on you. Then at some point you did what happened? They got up and confronted you in class, or did you say it was the bathroom or the hallway? Okay, the bathroom.
We were going to stack chairs, and after we stacked chairs, we went to the bathroom.
Okay.
And I was talking with my friends, they were talking with their friends, and we were laughing, and they had said something like, "Why do they laugh like that?" And they were talking about us in front of us. And so I went up there and I poured water on them.
Okay.
And then all 3 of them came at me.
Pouring the water. Because I'm trying to get this in my mind so I see, you know, as best
I had a
can.
water bottle.
Thank you. That's exactly. Where did you get this water? Was it a cup you found? Was it your water bottle?
It's my
your daily water bottle you'd carry around. Okay.
It was a plastic water bottle.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so you squirted them with water, or threw water on whatever it was. Okay. Then at that point, what happened?
They came at me. They grabbed onto my hair. I grabbed onto them. I threw one of them into a paper towel dispenser, and then they got my legs out from under me, got me on the ground, started beating the shit out of me.
Okay.
All right, so what she just stated there is that they were laughing at them because of the way they were laughing, and she went up and poured water on them, which is still considered assault. So she initiated the attack. They responded back with obviously what you just heard. So as of right now, and for the rest of this, it is a mutual fight. That is what this is. Discussing it as, you know, they were bullying her, and a lot of the media is presenting it as that they attacked her. That is not the case. She initiated this entire thing with going to them. She also admitted to never going to any school administrators to let them know about the bullying case. I am not taking any of this lightly, but just because someone is being made fun of for the way they dress, and just because someone's getting made fun of by the way they laugh, does not mean you attack them. That is not what this means. Even though I know the outcome of what has happened to the next day, it does not mean that you start and initiate an attack.
And then my friends tried to jump in and help, but I'm not sure. I blacked out.
When did this happen today?
Which is also what she just stated. She blacked out. That is very important. So the first responders who came on scene, obviously I don't have their report. I don't have what their narrative is. That is very important. So as a first responder, when someone states they blacked out, they really need to go to the hospital, get an MRI, get a scan done, see if there's any brain bleeding or brain swelling, because that is something that may not be presented right at the same time, because it can be such a small bleed or small swelling that it just takes hours up to a couple days for that to really set in.
Around 1.
Okay, so around lunchtime?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to follow up, Mom, as far as you're concerned. I'm going to definitely follow up with the school tomorrow morning. Figure out, because yes, any criminal type action, the school is supposed to give us a call.
That's right.
school failed to do that
whether
part
they
of the
just
job.
and I'm not making excuses for them, but I've seen it happen both ways. Either maybe they forgot, maybe there was other things going on. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, they dropped the ball on this one of not notifying me right away.
I told them
So-
I wanted something done.
Sure,
I
sure.
said, that is assault. She never
So-
laid her hands. Now, she did
Well-
put water, that was wrong.
Well, and I'll explain the
I can understand from the mother's standpoint trying to defend her daughter, but she is still in the wrong. She initiated it. She initiated the attack. She poured water on them, which is considered assault. There have been plenty of people who have been charged with assault by just starting by pouring on a liquid to somebody else. You don't know what's inside of that bottle. It could be a chemical. It could burn them. If they have a science class in their room, they could have any type of chemical in there as well that she could have poured on them. She could have brought it from home. So don't be pouring water on people. Don't be pouring liquids on people if you don't want something to happen. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and skip to what we think from when I've talked with a paramedic at a local department of mine, from the impression of what I have read to him from the news articles, and also from what I explained to him on this video. So it could be a numerous amount of things. And as a first responder, what you really want to do is you want to try to ask as many questions as possible to dive deep. And when there's really no visible, obvious trauma, it can be a slew of anything. So these are things not to be ruled out. This is what the mother has stated, or what this news article states, that the mother called emergency responders to the family home the day after the fight, saying Benedict's breathing was shallow, their eyes were rolling back, and their hands were curled, according to the audio released by Owasso police. So with her being at the hospital the day before, we aren't exactly sure what the hospitals ended up doing, like with a scan, or if they monitored her at all. Obviously, she wasn't presenting in anything crazy. An issue that is going to be faced is that if she complains of no pain, or if she complains of not having any dizziness, head hurting, back, neck, any other things that would qualify for a doctor to say, we need to give you a scan. If she even told the hospital staff that she did black out, that could give reason for them to do a scan. Obviously, with insurance companies and everything, they have to be able to justify doing that for insurance to pay. Everyone knows that. A lot of us got insurance. You understand all the hoops and flags that you have to go across. It gets kind of crazy sometimes. So with the statement of the shallow breathing, their eyes rolling back, and their hands were curled, could be a cause of hyperventilation. The reason being for that is if you have a lack of O2 and an increased amount of CO2 in the body, oxygen is very important. Releasing it with the CO2 is very important. That can cause you to pass out. It can cause your hands to clam up. If anybody has anxiety and you have had one of those anxiety attacks where you're breathing a lot and then all of a sudden now you're not getting oxygen to the body, so everything on the exterior is shutting down and it's coming to your chest, your torso, where all your major organs are. It's going to protect everything inside of you. That is a response, and then you can go unresponsive, eyes roll back, and now at that point, if there was any type of a brain bleed or swelling, it could be exacerbated from that. Also, things not to be ruled out are relation to drugs with respiratory depression, brain bleed, hours to a day after when you see the effects from a brain bleed, the possibility of a seizure from the brain injury, or even a drug overdose. So it's a small bleed that can lead to a long seizure. If she had no complaints at the hospital, it would be very difficult for the hospital staff to justify a CT scan. So those are just some of the things that could have possibly happened. So the biggest one that I'm really, in this medic that I've spoken with, it could really be a small brain bleed or swelling. Obviously, we don't have any scans. We don't have the autopsy report. The police haven't come out with anything as of right now with what it states. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.